If you're sick and tired of having big financial goals, huge aspirations, but not feeling the fire, the excitement, the momentum of it, where some days you're crushing them, other days you're kind of just going through the motions and you're almost beating yourself up like, why, what's wrong with me? Why am I not motivated? I know I want this thing, but I'm not working as hard as I know and I should be. Why am I getting distracted, pulled into the shit that has nothing to do with the mission of my life right now? Then this video is for you. After 15 years in the sales space, coaching thousands of salespeople, the biggest problem that I found was not having connection to the goal, to the point that it drives you and pulls you, where you don't have a choice but to work and show up. In this video, I pulled a clip from one of my coaching sessions with a small group of our elite private clients, where we went so deep and I shared behind the scenes from a decade plus of doing this, of learning the strategy that gets you to light your soul, that gets you fired up. So every single day you feel connected to the mission, you're drawn, you're pulled, you're motivated, you're inspired, and you don't have those days where you're beating yourself up wondering, what's wrong with me? Why am I not that driven? I know I want this. And more importantly, why am I stuck chasing the same goal month after month when I know there's so much greatness within me?
Please repeat that enough. Repeat that enough. That was fire.
You can't live and predict and anticipate and look for the grace in your life based on your current circumstances. Okay. And what I mean by that is, it's so easy to be like, whatever, let's say you're making 10K, 20K, 30K, 5K, okay? It's so easy to just sit there and think about the future of how it's going to be based on your current circumstances. But do you know what that does? Your future, you're pacing yourself into a reality that you don't want, but accidentally will go and manifest. Just process that for a second. Okay? If I go here, and I'm saying, what are we, August, okay? So if I go and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, I'm going to move to whatever, let's just say in October, okay? Just play along, pretend that's you. You move somewhere in October. You're going to move to Dubai, okay? And you just know Dubai is luxurious and expensive. And in your brain, okay, that's what happens to someone in 9 to 5, someone in the ordinary world, not here, okay? What happens is they go into contraction. And I know we've all been there. You go, oh shit, it's going to cost like that. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. Right? They go into contraction. They're scared. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Right? You get into that like scared space where like, man, this is expensive. It's going to be this. But by you saying that, what you are subconsciously communicating is, I'm going to be in the exact same position when I get there. Just process that for a second. You're saying, I want abundance. I want to hit this goal. I want to achieve that. I want to make all this money. I want to, change people's lives. But then when you think about your future, you think about it as current you. Isn't that a crazy concept? You think about it from your current circumstances. And I'm like, well, then you're not outgrowing or outthinking your current capacity. You are literally playing the movie of your life in the future based on the current stance. Do you get how crazy that is? And then you have what I call counter intention. You're saying, man, I want to hit this big ass income goal, right? A bunch of you just had a record month, right? And you're thinking about all these things. And what happens is, you're replaying the future over and over and over and over from the current you. So all that does is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will always live into that. Okay, I learned this very early on, like so long ago, probably a decade plus. I remember I used to go to a restaurant. Anyone remember your first time you went and you saw a steak and it was like $150 and you're, whoa, that's so expensive. And you would say it with like visceral energy. And what I learned is I was like, wait, I'm like, guys, $150, everyone already here has paid that a million times over. It's not a lot of money. $150 is nothing. Right? It's literally like nothing. And if you go and say a steak is $150, I'm like, $150 is not a lot of money. Okay, but if you say it's expensive, you are saying I'm going to be poor for life. It's not expensive. Because let me ask you this, if you were making 7 times the income that you're making right now, would you look at the $150 steak as expensive? I was on a sunrise run this morning, and it was so funny. I was thinking about, that's why this is very top of mind. I was thinking about what I used to think was expensive. And I used to think a Quest bar was expensive. Anyone look at those like $4 or $5 protein bars? And then you're like, man, that's a lot of money, right? You're like, that's a lot of money. I'm like, it's $5. 10 of them is only $50. Do you get, it's not actually a lot of money, but I remember so young, and I'd look at beef jerky, and I don't know, these are just very random. You look at these things, like, man, they're so expensive. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I used to think, anyone used to think people who drink Starbucks were rich people? Okay, I don't know how far back I'm going. Okay, do you remember when you had like broke level coffee right? You're just like that $1 coffee, and then wherever your local town is, there was that premium one. It was $5. Anyone? Am I just crazy? Am I just? Is it just me? I'm just checking, right? Maybe now you're still like, man, that's a lot. Like, why do people waste that? It's so much, right? Like, sometimes I go get a matcha latte bar and they put a thing and it's $13, and I'm like, I think this is stupid spending money, but that's a different conversation, okay? But it's not a lot of money because sometimes you walk in there, it's like $50. I'm like, what did you give me? Okay, but the point of it is you can't keep looking at things in scarcity and contraction because you are blocking the single thing that you are looking for, which is abundance. Do you see how that works? Like, you can't go, man, I'm going to hit these income goals. I'm going to achieve this 10K, 50K, 100K, whatever it is, your income. Okay. And then, like, in everything, you live day to day in contraction. And I'm not saying go be fiscally irresponsible, just go burn money. But I want you to start changing the language pattern in your mind, because there is an element that you are always going to block that if you keep thinking as a broke old version of it. Y'all track it? Like, you can't look at it that way. You have to live into that. It's not this fake it till you make it mindset. It's because the first thing in all of goal achievement, okay, and these are no particular order, is you have to have alignment, right? You have to have your attention on, right? But a really big thing is a huge thing that no one talks about is something you guys learn in sales is you also have to assume it. You know how you assume the sale? Okay. Old botland online copy paste people, like, you have to assume the sale. Okay. They're taught not to. Okay. You have to assume the sale. You can't go in. Imagine you go into a sale and halfway through you're like, I don't think they're gonna buy. I hope they buy. You can't. I'm just like, man, if I'm helping them, like, they're buying. Like, it's already, the sale is already done in your mind. Do you understand? It's just how we're gonna get there. You like, once it's sold, you have to assume the sale. Okay. But the same thing in your life happens. You have to assume that you are going to achieve and attain the thing that you so-called sought for. Y'all tracking? Because if not, then what the hell are we working towards? Because if you don't assume it, that means you have no conviction towards it. If you don't assume it, that means you can't commit towards it. Because you're always going to try, but then there's a part of you that goes, well, but like, what, like, and you don't go full tilt. And then do you know what happens? Please, everyone, write this down. This is so important. Okay. When you don't assume it, when you're not convicted and you don't believe you achieved the thing, you don't hold yourself accountable when you miss it, if you miss it, because you were never bought in the first place. Y'all follow? Araldi, because he's always on top of his data, gives his full week breakdown, calls, cash, this, that. He missed his last week's target by like $280 or something. Okay. And then we were talking, and I just messaged him this morning, and I was like, cool. And we raised the target by 1,000. And I remember setting it. I was like, I hope he doesn't think he can't achieve that this week. Right. And as soon as I hit send, I was like, why did I think so small for him? I felt so bad sending it. Because if you can't believe it, you can't see it, you can't achieve it, you can't conceive it. Like, it's just not going to happen. You have to look at that. You know, something I love about when I talk to Keaton, is as we're tweaking their comp plans, and they're talking to me, and they could see the path because I rigged it in a way that it could be a life-changing experience. Their comp plan, when they hit the top tier guys, they will make over $80,000 in commissions in a single month, which is the most insane thing that just exists on the planet. Okay. Like, to just be like, whoa, right? And when he talks to me about it, what I love about it is he has the enthusiasm about achieving. And I love that. I love that. Okay. Because he's looking at 90K just for the record. Okay. It's not 80. Okay. But he's not looking at it being like, I wonder how, blah, 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 blah. Okay. He's like, I'm going to go do it. I just want, when you guys go see them and they go hit, I don't know, almost a $30,000 commission month, you're just like, you have to see and assume and believe and be convicted towards that. So my big message, it just got sparked, okay, but by a comment that Logan said. And he's like, I hope it's not as expensive as blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you are not operating from the right place. But then he goes and tells me he's going to profit $20,000 this month. Do you guys see the contradiction? Just process that for a second. Okay. And I'm not saying go blow money, but if you go and make $20,000 in profit this month, and you go and increase that the next month. I'm like, it doesn't matter if it costs $1,000 more, or $2,000 more or less. It's the same shit. Just go make more money. Yeah, follow? Did you get the goal attainment piece? Like I'm really trying. I'm trying to achieve this thing. Blah, 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 blah. I'm so scared. But you might not call it scared. You might call it a little bit doubtful, a little bit uncertain, a little bit unsure. Because that same lack of disconnection to conviction, clarity, commitment, okay, that expectancy, okay. If you guys want positive psychology term, Matthew, great. It's actually you have to have positive. You have to have expectancy for you to be driven, for you to have the ambition, for you to live and move into it. You have to have the expectancy. You follow? So you really have to tap into that because guess what? You guys will go sell people. Okay, imagine funding. You go sell funding deal, and that person doesn't really believe that he can go get the fund. Is he going to buy? Is he going to pay high ticket? Is he going to pay the $6, $10, $12, $15,000 for the thing? Of course not. Okay. Raldi sells communication. If that person, because remember, all sales is at the highest level. If you could just drop it in the chat, hopefully I've drilled it enough. It's two things. It's a transfer of energy and certainty. Okay, it's a transfer of certainty. Ultimately, it's certainty and energy, certainty and energy, certainty and energy. I have to give energy, right? What am I doing right now? I'm transferring certainty to you in a new way of thinking, and I'm transferring the energy. Do you know when I say energy and certainty? Obviously, I'm not saying go yell at your prospects. Okay, I'm in coach mode. But if I just say, yeah, hey guys, a lot of what you have to do is you have to be convicted into your goals. See, I can still give you the same messaging, but without the energy, can I ask you, does it actually land the same? It's not the same.
No,
it just doesn't hit. Okay. So the reason why I'm just because I'm trying to sprinkle back some of the high performance Mondays early on. Okay. Is you have to learn to channel and tap and get delusionally convicted about what you're going to achieve and do, because you also have to have that internal certainty. So when you're on a sales call, you can also pass the certainty and the conviction onto your clients. It's a two-way street. Okay, as you guys know, why I'll never take on someone from elite or inner circle if they're let's say from business owner standpoint, if the product is shit or they don't have that like heart of service or not willing to do whatever it takes, I'll never work with them. Because I was like, I can't help you sell if you just sell crap and you're not willing to go figure it out. But everyone here, you either have a world-class product or you're committed to making it world-class. So I'm like, you're good. So my message as we dive into the week before we go into any of the sales stuff here is, what do you need to have even more alignment, expectancy, delusional conviction towards that is happening for you at this stage in your life? Yeah. Just think of it this way. What do you need even more alignment, attention, conviction? Just like looking at that thing, unwavering, unapologetic, that you are assuming it's already done. Like it's already done. You're just walking into it's already done. It's happened. You've achieved it. It's come. You helped create it, manifest it, God graced it. It was part of your plan and you brought it to life. What is that for you at this stage? Just think on. An example of how you know where you might be missing some conviction, clarity, and commitment is if you think about a goal and there's that like 5% voice like, but what if, what if? Anyone get that? Like, it's like this, like just in the back. It's not loud enough sometimes, but it's just like little mouse that comes out and he's in the back. He's like, oh, what if, buddy? Like, and they'll try the whisper. And you try to like justify it. So whatever that is for you, the 1% estrogen. Uh, what is that for you? Right. And I'll share a personal example, non-monetary, not anything that maybe can help give someone some inspiration. So, if you guys know, um, like I have been blessed to make more money than I ever dreamt of in my entire life, do anything that I've ever dreamt of. And I never had to build a brand. Millions of dollars later, never had to build a brand. Okay. Never had to like obsess about this like social thing. And on the journey, when I look at it, I'm like, now we're like, okay, guys, like brand is everything. Like if you guys haven't figured this out by now, there's no true net worth without a brand. But if I go look at my historical data, if you guys don't know, because they're still on my profile, and I'll just talk about IG for a second. Okay. I have published and created over, I believe it was over 323 reels, and I was hovering around 1,000 followers. Can you just process that for a second? These are reels that I've paid, tens of thousands of dollars, cumulatively over editing. I used to edit them, then hired someone, then a team, and then to manage. Think about that. That's about a reel a day, if you look at it, right? That was over a span of a couple of years. Just process that. And the account was still at around 1,000. Who here, truthfully, would have been defeated? Just be straight. Just hands up. Okay? Because y'all create 3 ads. You're like, that's not working. It's gonna go. The ads. I'm like, ads. Trust me, sometimes one of the things you have to learn and coach is like empathy and patience. And that's this ad variation did not blow up. Like, okay. And here's my very sad violin for you. Okay. So the point is, yeah, sorry, it's this. Thank you, Gonzalo. Okay. So the point is, you go look at that. I'm like 300 plus reels, all this time, all this money does absolutely nothing. Okay. And I'm talking like all these videos are like 200-300 views. Sorry, I should have added that. 200-300, 200-300. Like 500 was like a record. Can you just imagine? Five. And then, sorry, I didn't tell you. And then I'd see this like 16-year-old kid go up and just be like, goo goo gaga. I'm like, oh, he's viral. Wow. Okay. I'm a fucking loser. Okay. Or like someone would post about nothing and it's like 100,000. So then I go and I'm like, okay, cool. And then we commit and we go deeper and we go deeper. Okay. Or like some just nonsense. Okay. And it just, you have a double back, boom, and they're viral. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you see that and you're like, I'm so discouraged. Then we commit, then we hire, then we spend more. Then it's like, okay, crazy, right? Like $10,000 piece of equipment, like just the freaking camera and the shit. And so this, and still nothing. Okay. Then we have, eventually we start getting a boost. Now we're at 4,500 followers. Okay. But do you understand? Years of nothing. Right. Then the funniest thing is when Elias was helping me, like I had so many team members, in the past for this. And then at some point, we're like, man, we've done so much. And he's like, dude, I have more followers than you. Just laugh. And I was like, this has been a multi-year thing. Okay. I also built my whole business in the past off of Facebook. So I wasn't like IG, strong. And Facebook's a completely different strategy. But anyways, do you guys know what our target is for August? It's to get to 20,000 followers. Okay. So just process that for a second. Okay, there are about 21 days left in a month. We're at 4,500 followers. It took us, I don't know how many years to get to 4,500. And now we're like, hey, we're going to jump to 20,000 in 21 days. Okay. So you have to go and be like, and I'm trying to use this as a simple example that hopefully connects with something. 20K in 21 days. It's basically like 1,000 a day. Okay, who here can hear that? And based on historical data, based on effort, based on capacity, who here, truthfully, like we have to think about it, is like, and you're fucked, you're not going to hit it. I see Kaiser, there's no doubt. See, I see the non-believers. It's so easy to spot them.
Man.
No faith. Okay, man. We're gonna put it into the stick it to. We're gonna add Kaiser onto the list. Okay, just you just would get a little bit of extra dark energy. Okay, but you see, Kaiser didn't believe. But see, that's the whole point. That's the whole game. Okay, people around you won't believe into your goal. People around you won't believe into your ambition. People around you won't buy in because they are projecting their own internal insecurity and making it a market reality. Okay. I am entrapping Kaiser because Kaiser doesn't believe it because he's not making this about guys. He's not thinking about my capabilities when he just saw that when I saw distrust. Kaiser, were you thinking about me or were you thinking about yourself? Himself. He's not looking at me as a spiritual being. He's not thinking he does not know what I'm capable of. He does not know what he has in plan for me. He's talking about himself when he's projecting his shit. He's saying, I can't do that. That's insane. That's not possible. So he's projecting his own insecurity. This is a huge life click if you guys understand what's happening. Okay. So people around you, and like, guys, we're like a tribe. Okay. Like everyone here loves it. Like it's so much love. I'm like, this is someone who loves and wants to see me win, but doesn't believe in the mission. Okay. Isn't that crazy to say out loud? Kaiser, I still love you. Don't worry. Okay. I think you're a jerk. You got to raise a little bit of faith, brother. A little bit more faith. Okay. Have faith. Okay. But that's the point. Guys are public enemy number one. I'm gonna just start bullying him, sabotaging some of his work.
And you want to know the craziest thing when we're making content? We have a question we ask ourselves, and we go, would Kaiser be someone that like would just love this video? Because we know
Kaiser's our avatar, which is so funny. We actually always think about Kaiser. One of our checklists is, would Kaiser love this video? Yeah. Isn't that funny? We shot, I don't know, 6 reels yesterday. Okay. And we're like, well, Kaiser like this one? I'm like, nah, man, he wouldn't get this. No, this wouldn't make sense. Oh, it's so funny that I actually picked on you and we actually use you. So by the way, sorry, cat's out of the bag. Kaiser's one of our guys that we check in with. Okay. We have we think about Kaiser pretty much every day, if you guys don't know. Okay. What would Kaiser think? Literally. Okay. We'll make him trending. We'll just add him. And people are like, who is this guy? Okay. But do you see the point? Okay. I have to be delusionally convicted. Elias can't be on the team. And then I'm thinking we're going to hit 20,000. He's like, yeah, but. He has no yeah, but in him. I have no yeah, but in me. There's 0% uncertainty. We're doing it. And then we'll replay this and it'll be fucking amazing. Just as a comeback story. Okay. Okay. But you have to have so delusional conviction. Because if I don't have the conviction, how hard am I going to create? How much excitement am I going to have creating? How much enthusiasm am I going to have creating? How much belief am I going to have creating? How much activity am I going to create? Am I going to make better lead magnets? Am I going to create better scripts? Am I going to create better output? Am I going to create? No. The delusional conviction is you have to force your mind to create the mental images. You have to see it, feel it, then you have to talk about it, then you have to write it, then you have to visualize. Like you have to just create it because everyone here knows how to be delusionally convicted because you know how to be delusionally pessimistic. Is this too much for a Monday? We're just warming up the mind. We're just warming up the week. Okay. Everyone here knows how to be delusionally pessimistic. Yes. Everyone here knows how to what if negative loop. What if this negative thing happens? What if this doesn't come through? What if this happens? What if that happens? Everyone knows it, don't they? Okay. So you have to go, okay, well, I know how to do that. All you're doing is you're putting a lot of attention on it. You're thinking about it. You're imagining scenarios. Guys, if you understand this one thing, okay, fear and faith, both words start with the letter F. Both believe in a future that hasn't happened yet. One is driven by the enemy. One is driven by your creator. Just process this for a second. Both start with an F. Both believe. What's fear? You believe in something that hasn't happened yet. What is faith? You believe in something that hasn't happened yet. Isn't that true? One is driven by the enemy. One is driven by your creator. To be fearful, you are saying, this thing that hasn't happened yet, I'm believing it. That's why I'm creating the emotion of fear. But faith is I'm believing in this thing that hasn't happened yet because I believe in the goodness and the abundance and the grace that God has for me in my life. Both of them, you have to believe in something that hasn't happened. So I'm like, well, would you rather live in faith or would you rather live in fear? Woo! Man, feel like we're turning into a service this morning. Okay. So you go into all of that, and I'm like, whatever the goal and the ambition and the thing is for you, okay, you have to like squeeze your head on it. And the problem is of why we don't stay on the things because we don't think about it enough. right? I saw, thankfully, Ed didn't show up to the gym this morning. I don't know where he is actually, but is Ed good?
He's Gucci.
Okay, he's Gucci. Okay. So, um, so I was like, man, this is so good. I didn't feel obligated. I put on my headphones. I left the gym and I was like, man, I just want to be with myself. And I just want to dream because I love to like run and dream and think and dream and think and dream and think. Okay. And I'm like, how you bring all these stuff into fruition is you have to have pockets throughout your day where you're not just talking about it, but you're experiencing it, you're feeling it, you're seeing it. You have to create the scenes of the future that you are trying to grow towards. Otherwise, you have no idea what to be directed towards. You have to create the scenes of the future that you are trying to manifest into your life. And you have to have pockets throughout the days where you do that. And if you want to supercharge it, do it when you're having vibrancy within your body, aka during a walk, aka during a workout, aka when you have energy. Don't lay there half asleep and try to like dream a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't hit the same juice. It's different if you do it right when you wake up and you don't move when you're in kind of that dreamy state versus just like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to dream about my goal. Go take a cold shower, then go dream about your goal. But you have to create the image, the scene, everything about it, and make it real and bring it into your life. And then your actions have to look. Elias's first thing when we spoke today, he's like, what if we did yet what we did yesterday every single day? I was like, man, it was intense. It was intense. Y'all also don't understand. I would have had to pay out a couple of grand in penalties to the team if I didn't deliver on the output. Side note, I should have mentioned, I had a consequence for the week. I was like, for the whole company, I was like, I'm going to bonus every single person on the team if I don't hit the deliverables by the end of the week. So because I had a negative consequence, I messaged Elias. I was like, there's no chance I'm paying anyone. Not on this. I'm okay to pay, but not on this. Not because I was a little bitch and I didn't follow through on my commitment. Right? But the consequence was also real enough that I was like, I'm not just going to go evaporate a couple grand for no reason. But my question to you is, what is that thing that you need even more conviction, even more commitment, even just maybe a different word is, what is that thing that needs more of your mental share? More of your mind space. Is it a new income? Is it a dream body?
My favorite line in all this too, and us with the faith and fear analogy that you've talked about in the past is that we'll get so caught up in the day-to-day, we don't zoom out. And I think part of those pockets of time where you're dreaming are to be like, okay, the stairway to heaven or the stairway to your goal, the stairway to, you getting to that outcome that you have so much conviction about will not show you the whole staircase. It
one
only
step
shows you the next faithful step, literally one step at a time.
That is it. That is it. That is it.
Can I add something? Because I think
yes, sir.
It's so crazy. Only Anas and Elias knows. It was like a year ago. Insane. A year ago was a completely different scenario that I was living. And I'm like, I remember I was driving or I was on an Uber. I'm just looking back at my photo and like, how the fuck did I actually make it through all this? Right? Like all the adversity, all the circumstance. And one, I want to shout out Anas and Elias, right? For all their help and all their support and everything they've done. I want to shout out the whole community within the centers in general. Because I mean, part of that, it wouldn't have been able to happen if it wasn't for the community in general as well. And then also was like the vision, the dream, the mission. It's like just being so delusionally convicted to that. Like I was so in my dream and my mission that I didn't even know what my circumstance was at the time.
Amen.
And that's what kept me pushing. So
amen.
Give it up for Raleigh.
Give it up.
Oh man. Change man.
Change man. Change man. Change man. So we'll wrap it with that mega octopus little high performance Monday start to the week. And let's kind of jump in, unless someone has a quick follow-up question on what we just covered. Matthew's having eye surgery with his contacts. Okay, yeah, there we go. He's back
Can
to
I
life.
ask a super quick follow-up?
Yes, sir.
So when you say like see your goals, if your goal is like something like less tangible, like so for example, if someone's goal is to like buy something, it's like you can just look at that thing you want to buy, right? In terms of visualization. But if it's a like in terms of profit month, new cash sold, when you say like see that, what are you kind of referring to? If you could
Oh yeah,
explain that a little
very easy.
more.
Yeah, great question. Okay, so let's say I take the $20,000 Instagram. Okay, I don't just picture like my Instagram saying 20K and be like, right? What I do with the 20K is I think about telling you guys. I'll envision a scene of me having like a coaching session, be like, guys, we did it, right? Me talking about the non-believers, me talking about Kaiser. So picture a scene of, you have to picture. So when you think about a profit, you're like, hey, I made $15,000 in net income. Okay. You have to go. It's not just, okay, you go picture, let's say you're Chase, your bank. You go picture the numbers and the zeros. Great. Okay. You go picture who are you going to celebrate with, right? You best believe you're going to go post something in the Wins channel. Okay. And you're going to get some love from the community. You're going to go tell someone in your family. Okay. Like you have to, the scenes, guys, remember the scenes, not the scene, singular, the scenes, plural, brackets, S. Okay. When you go and achieve this thing, when you do this thing, there's going to be people you're going to celebrate with. Okay. There's something you're going to do. How are you going to celebrate? Is it a feast? Is it an outing? Is it a, you know, whatever the case may be? Okay. You have to see the thing. Okay. What's going to change in your life? Okay. You're going to have a different experience. You're going to have a different moment. But there's also a different thing is if you can also create the scenes of the experience of how you will feel. You understand? It's like I remember, I don't know why, okay? The first time I wanted $10,000 so bad, so long ago, okay? Probably was like 20 years ago. Okay. And I saved it up in cash and I'll take envelopes and I would like put $1,000 and I'd put it into cash. Okay. I kept thinking about what I was going to feel when I had it. And I remember when I had my first 10 envelopes together and I was like, man, I got $20,000 at $10,000. And what did I feel as a person? What I didn't do anything with it, but what did I feel? I felt confident. I felt proud. I felt secure. You get what I mean? And you're like, wow, this is a different feeling. Because you also, in those moments, let's say your goal is, hey, I'm going to go do a $30,000 a month. Well, part of it is when you do it, well, what's going to happen? You can now imagine, you fast forwarded, you're there. You're now more optimistic about the future. You're like, man, I could hire this person. I could do this thing. I could, like, you have way more optimism for the future because you're just proving a concept. You have also, there's a lot more follow-up thoughts that happen after from when you go and hit that thing. It's not just, hey, I achieved it, I got it. So many doors. So like when you fast forward, I'm like, okay, well, picture you now just hit it. How do you feel? How do you think? How do you process? What are you doing? What are you planning for is the next thing? Okay. And for everyone, you have to be appreciative of what comes and what happens throughout the process. Did I answer it for you, Logan? That was a great question.
That was so good. It's
Okay.
like this
Was
is
that
like
helpful for
sales.
someone
It's like
else?
it's like the same thing you ask your prospects. You just ask that to yourself. It's like who are you gonna
Yes.
celebrate with?
I
So
told you guys, remember when
that's
I
so
tell
funny.
you in when you watch, if you watch in Fast Track, like when I talk about dreams and aspiration, I think I need to emphasize it more. Um, is I'm so big on, I'm so practiced to do it on myself that it's very easy for me to get out of something. It's a different thinking process. That's why when I see a lot of the copy paste closers, I'm like, you struggle to get goals out of someone because you struggle to get it out of yourself. You struggle to feel a connection. You struggle. You don't even know the process for yourself because no one teaches it to unwind it for yourself. But the reason why the ascender's journey is not just money, growth, business, service, it's faith, it's your productivity, it's your presence, it's your connection, it's all of it. That's why high performance is a very important part of it because I'm like, well, you are the business, you are the entity. The more you grow and the more you work on you, the better you serve your prospects. the better you show up for them, the more equipped you are. The more you can understand someone when you go deep with their ambition, let's say, and you knew what it was like when you got stuck up. So you ask different questions. You have a different nuance. I can't teach you that little nuance. You do it, you learn that in the process. I'll teach you what to ask, how to say it, right? Some of you, my favorite moment, there was a few of you, when before you joined Elite, you had a moment of fear. And I said, hey, I can give you a meta experience because I can't teach you this nuance. And it's very rare you'll have these moments in your life. I didn't even remember who was what, but I was like, right now, this feeling you have in this exact moment is the same thing your prospect has. They're like, hey, I'm sold, but I'm scared. And I'm like, you have to really hone in. And a few of you, I made you journal right after. Because I was like, you need to capture this moment because you need to understand, how did you go through the fear and trust in the process? Yeah, like you all had to, some of you had to go, like everyone who here in some capacity, you were fearful before you joined the Elite. Beautiful. Look at that, right? I was like, I can teach you all the war tracks, but like, you know, that feeling, I can't teach that to you. Like it's harder to teach. So I'm like, the more you experience these things in your life, you're like, huh, I knew what fear was. So when you say a war track, it hits a lot different. I'm like, hey man, I totally get it. I know there's this like this feeling right now. It's a little bit of excitement, a little bit of nerve. Is that kind of showing up for you? I'm like, man, totally get it. It hits different when you say, yeah. So you guys know, oh, it's a very normal fear. I would be worried if you weren't feeling it. Ha 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 ha. It's different when you've actually have felt it before and you can experience it and communicate. You have way more rapport, you have more empathy, and you land way deeper. Okay. Keaton had a different experience. He was very fearful not to join, right? 3 months he's trying to join. He's like, man, I hope. I think I was like, good. Okay, Gonzalo, right? So different experiences. Okay. I'm like, well, what if it does? So it's a blessing. So the point is, as more as you do workshop, you want more incentive. When you work on the stuff on yourself, you'll be way more equipped to work your prospects and objection handle better and solve through and be way better servant salesperson for them. And you will close infinitely more deals. Yeah. Let's give it up for y'all. Okay. Let's give it up for y'all. Let's jump into some sales. If you got some questions, put the hands up. We'll rapid fire some of the questions and I'll jump into a teaching just for today. It's a little special Monday.